Everyone ready? Yeah, wonderful. Yes.
Nice to be here with ya. Nice to hear from ya. Nice to hear your voice in the flicker on the candle. Fadilla. Lafia low. Hello, Sunnatna Khadija. Spelled in English alphabet, H-A-D-I-Z-A. Sometimes ending in H. Or Hausa. Once a very nomadic people, on foot, atop horse, on foot, atop horse. Out of the bush, the Hausa, named the Hausa. Named their kin, the ones who could fly. Makuzanki, the ones who could fly. The bush, out of the bush, became Hausa. Out of the bush, became Hausa. On foot, atop horse, around and across the Sahel. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, with the wind. Shoki, with the wind. Shoki, with the wind. Shoki, around and across the Sahel until the fathers, sons, and uncles, they grew bored, wanting more. They grew bored, wanting more. They grew bored, village, out of the compound, in the village, settlement, city, settlement, city, settlement, city, a top horse, meeting sword, and words of Ibrahim, they were bored. So they took titles like Sheikh Malam Sarki, the Hausa, spelled with Holy Roman script, H-A-U-S-A, filed away in a dossier by the CIA. It's real. There's a real dossier on the Hausa by the CIA. I was born on a Friday. Holy day, Friday. Holy day, Friday. Juma, Friday. Jumai, assigned European female name for born on a Friday. Holy day in which we all pray. Divided by assignment. Divided by assignment. And we pray in this way. Hello. 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 Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. European patriarch architect. European patriarch architect. European patriarch architect. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Babylon. Welcome to Babylon. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Gotta catch up, catch your breath, catch you later. You can rely on me. I know most loyal. I can prove to you that I'm not so bad. Not so bad. I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. You can breathe on me. I'm your most loyal. I can prove to you that I'm not so bad. 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 Let me catch a dream now. 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 Every day I emerge from the dark hollow to greet the sun. Through the slits of the blinds on my window, I'm reminded eyes take their time to adjust. Eyes take their time to adjust. Yesterday you inhaled more than you could swallow, and while you were choking on your tongue, they still defied to you. It was you who decided you can try to rewind if you must. You can try to rewind if you must. Is there anything you need to do for tomorrow? Presence is hard when you're opposite the trigger of the gun, and at the scent of blood I saw their eyes widen. Their lies will get denied to steal your trust. Their lies get denied to steal your trust. This decadence latched to our backs, weighs about a ton, keeps on dragging us down, down beneath the ground. One must be sad. What seed shall we sow? One must be shed. What bones shall we throw? All I know, all I know, all I know is we are procrastinating too. Fertilize, burying dirt into soil with the decay. 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 Burn into soil, dirt to soil, dirt to soil, dirt to soil. Doomsday begins and there's no more time left to borrow. What becomes of our dreams so far flung? Fist curled to a clench, eyes just tighten, and eyes take their time to adjust. Eyes take their time to adjust. Someday you just might wake up to pain and sorrow, but until that day you will still be young. Just avoid the mirror if you'd rather not be frightened, or you can try to rewind if you must. Try to rewind if you must. These days it's so bright, can't see the path to follow, and even if I yell at the top of my lungs, they will continue to ignore as tensions heighten, and their lies will get denied to steal your trust. Their lies get denied to steal your trust. This decadence latched to our backs, weighs about a ton, keeps on dragging us down, down beneath the ground. One must be sad. What seed shall we sow? One must be shed. What bones shall we throw? All I know, all I know, all I know is we are procrastinating too. Fertilize, burying dirt into soil with the decay. Fertilize, burying dirt into soil with the decay. Fertilize, At some point, it just kept expanding as far above as the eyes can see. Dark, pitted wave. Inverted orbits. The wind it carries the stench along with it, unmistakable, like the breath of the rancid lips I caressed a lifetime ago. And at times you can't even lift your arms in this kind of air. The density it pulls you down as soon as you've gathered enough wind beneath your feet, contained there. They gave us each one jar to keep recycled air. They said don't turn that lid up your container, and they swear we have mercy, we extend our deepest sympathies. You've earned the day off, you could earn one more for each body that gets added to your toe. Cause we know it gets hard to keep track when you lose, but life it goes on and you must produce. So whatever you do, don't turn it loose. Don't turn that lid off of your container. You're here, we're here. You're now, we're now. You ought to be happy to breathe. You're here, we're here. You're now, we're now. Aren't you grateful for the opportunity? Take this calm from the void, let it fill your precious veins with molten silicon joy. But we have the sneaking suspicion you won't have on your mission. So if you'd like to keep your place in line, let the ledger guide take your days about it, and when you return, you can try to sell to the ones who learn spotted. Let that heart break out your container. Don't let that grieving out your container. Don't let that sorrow out your container. Don't let that mourning out. Late that night, I took to the pavement. Glass container in one hand, lid under the other. I sat down next to the base of a street lamp. What could happen if I were to turn the lid a smidge? is expanding to match increasing mass of this dark pitted wave, and it pulls the heaviest stream from behind my eyelids. So heavy my lids fall beneath it. Remember they said not to release it. I want to thank y'all for being here. We got a few more. Make a version of blues called Diaspora Gothic. And I just want to let y'all know, we have free zines back there. Please feel free to take any zines. I especially implore you to take one zine called Scorched Earth Legacy of Israel Chemicals Limited. There is a facility in Lawrence, Kansas that is definitely part of the white phosphorus supply chain going to the Zionist entity. We also have Take Care bags, which I'll say emphasis on the hydration materials inside there. We got Gatorade, water, and hydration multipliers, and some snacks, and Narcan for anyone who might need it. So please take one or two and give it to someone that you see who could use it. And we got a donation station of different causes. I don't even like it. Causes is not, that's not the right word. There are people resisting fascism and Zionism across the global south. Namely, we're talking about here, Palestine, Sudan, and Ghana. I mean, there's a lot more places, but those are the ones that, well, I'm Ghanaian, so, you know. I grew up in Iowa and have a lot of Sudanese friends. And of course, Palestine, which I would say in the West, we're now seeing the lid blown off and starting to draw the connections that build the lattice network of imperialism. So all of these things are connected. Queer people in the global South have no choice but to resist and live half-lives or less than half-lives. And so we gotta do what we can to support. So please, if anything, take a picture of the bulletin board so that you can scan the QR codes later and read more and support in any way that you'd like to. We also have pamphlets. They're supposed to be folded up. I couldn't figure out how to fold it. For how to do eSIMs. If you've ever thought about doing eSIMs and you're like, whoa, I can't. I'm gonna fuck that up. I'm gonna mess that up. Sorry for cussing. We got that. If you want to donate, I would highly recommend, please donate to Gaza Mutual Aid Collective and definitely read about their principles. I think that's it. Oh yeah, we got tea. We don't have cups, I'm sorry. So if you drink water and then get some tea, that works. your flesh, the crust is oozing raw through my dirty white mask and my off-white eyes, and my off-white eyes. I've got to go out hunting, been referred to as a gatherer myself. You fret like there's something resembling a threat you cannot possibly contain. Never ever lose control. Already devoured the insides of the body that you drain. In my big black sack, in my big black sack, in my big black sack, in my big black sack. To cover my face, no need to attract another unnecessary case. They show me how to keep my eyes down, and it's better that way for you, 'cause I could very well burn away the mirage of your rain alone with my gaze. I could very well burn away the mirage of your rain alone with my gaze. My gaze, my gaze, my gaze. Can't wait till around midnight, when I can step out in style. I found just the perfect accent I can wear to pair with your golden dinner. What a timeless, fatal attraction. You swear you never dare, like you ain't got bodies to hide. I already wore out your tongue, already wore out your nose, wore out the rough side of your flesh. The crust is oozing raw through my dirty white mask and my off-white mask. In my off-white mask. I've got the wind for hunting. You could say I developed a refined taste. You fuss at the very moment. You must decide if it's gonna be flee or fight. Is it flee or fight? On my big black sack. Is it flee or fight? On my big black sack. Is it flee or fight? On my big black sack. Is it flee or fight? On my big black sack. written record. Who first came up with it? Must have been a town idiot. Who first coined the idiom? You know it goes. The pen is mightier than the sword. Tushy, puncture, spilled black ink. Uncareful, slipped right into it. Matches of arrows at ain't you bad, no lie by your salacious word. To break into a compromise, a rhyme, fallacious membrane of pen. Drains out the remainder. Drains out the remainder. Swore he created you, exclaimed it to be true, by way of published written accord. Little bit of alphabet math, capital letter. Switch positions with last, a pen will charm, sort into words. And if it can handle a null right before it's ended, a pen will take the lock of the say, draw through into our next world. Draw through into our next world. Meanwhile, I try to sing the move. Those hips don't drag enough ink. Stay sharpening blades. The letters they dead in the pressure. They're dead in the pain, distract from the pressure. 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 Dead in the pain, the pressure. Dead in the pain, distract from the pressure. Wonder if I can get on the calendar with Shaitan. Which one of these cardinal directions towards the fiery gates? Worry that he'll get the right one. Remember they vanished with lights on, insisting on a basis to eviscerate. Wonder if I can get on the calendar with Shaitan. Which one of these cardinal directions towards the fiery gates? Worry that he'll get the right one. Remember they vanished with lights on, insisting on a basis to eviscerate. Headed west, headed west, for the newest golden standard of take what's left of your waiting gold, extracted from the hill. 'Cause all that glitters, is How strong is the bond of your word? How strong is the bond to this world? How strong is the bond of your word? How strong is the bond to this world? Almost done. Dang. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I have severe ADHD. Who else? You know the struggle. It manifests differently for everybody. I just have to say, this is a dream come true that I didn't know was a dream. So thank you, Addie and the Queertet, for lifting me up. This is so cool. One's a brand new one. We got one more for y'all. And this last one is called Organs. For anyone who's just arrived, I want y'all to know that All the zines are free. Please take a look at the donation station. If it's too much to take in now, take a picture and read later. Oh, Lord.
Dance party.
How do I turn this off? Forgot. I know how to do it. I do that every show. There are take care bags, which you can take to give to somebody who could use some hydration and some snacks. There's other things in there too. And what else? Am I forgetting anything? Oh, next we're gonna have a call to action from a wonderful artist and land steward. Okay, he's looking at me like, what? If you've never heard of the organization My Region Wins, you're gonna hear about it today. And I want y'all to learn about Boone Area 1 and the stuff that's going on there. Bridging land stewardship and the arts. That's what Carl's doing. And he is very passionate about climate justice, as we all should be, because it's our home. And it's hot. All right, this is our last song.
And then stay for Christina is going to give us a sound bath performance after we wrap up with the Queertet, so stick around. Thank you to Manheim Garden. Thank you so much.
That was gonna be my last, that was gonna be after. Definitely big, huge thank you to Manheim. Otherwise, this would not be happening. We love you. Let me make sure I'm in the right key. You know what? This song is about political consciousness in the United States, which is at negative, if you ask me, my opinion. I hope that we can develop a mass political consciousness of resistance. But before we get there, we gotta have some growing pains and do what we do until we realize what we really need to do. To repel once again, magnetizing people, magnetizing people. Millions of humans climbing upon one another. Together in fall, together in fall. How many axis rotations did it take to separate the plates from their faults? To work to separate the planes from their faults to generate our points of origin. Our points of origin. Shifting points over dissolving borderlines. A first breath exhale from the center inside belly of it. How many weeks thickening over sees her star? How many cycles of the moon have come and gone to see the ruin? How many cycles of the moon have come and gone to see the ruin? Oh, kingdom come after 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 kingdom coming to the middle. Oh, the end of it. The end of it. The end of it. Thank you all. Let me introduce the KC Queertet, starting with bass and sound engineering. Well, not technically part of the Queertet, but queer as hell. Maddie, AKA Baby Doll Dreams Forever. She's not a hired gun. We love her, obviously. And then, to my immediate right, your left, Christina Silvius, who's going to drench us in sounds of the viola. To my left, to your right, Iona. Sorry, I don't mean to say your name weird. Iona. Is that weird? Sorry. On cello. Iona is so talented. I mean, everybody here is so talented, but Iona came in at the very end, and so did Kathryn. Of course, we have Addie. Y'all know Addie. And then we have Kathryn, who also came in at the very end. We had like 2 rehearsals, and I'm so grateful. And this is being recorded, so y'all get to watch it later. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you, Manheim Gardens. Y'all, if you can, please donate your time or money, or both, to Manheim. There are other community gardens listed on a thing that I stole from the library, that you can take a look at too to learn more. We need to support our community gardens. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah, and down with the entity, down with America, KKK, down with the UAE. Oh, I was talking to some people earlier. I'm so sorry, I didn't finish what I was saying, so let me just finish it now. What's the connection to the UAE? I was starting to talk about that, and you're like, what? United Arab Emirates, the Zionist entity, and the so-called United States are all like, working hard together underneath the Abraham Accords to normalize Zionism. And what does the normalization of Zionism do? Genocide. And here in the Imperial Core, we have so many distractions, our desires, our anxieties, our neurodivergencies that we can sometimes use to pretend like our issues, our problems in the Imperial Core are the center. And they're not, because we are the center of the suffering of the world. And the lid is blowing off. You hear people saying, free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan. I want you to really know what that means. If anything, it's not just a banner of imperialism. These things are linked through corporate entities, through international law. What is the UN for? I know some people are probably fans of the UN here, but the UN was created after World War II, basically to say who's a good genocider and who's a bad genocider. The UN is an entity that does deploy like a lot of aid, and so I won't bash them there because we need that. Like any aid efforts we can support, we need to do. But what they contribute to is this like atomization of issues. We think things are just issues, like end homelessness or ACAB or BLM. Honestly, those are better, but we get stuck in issues when the issue is fascism. People might think that word is being thrown out a lot, but if you ask anybody who has to deal with cops on a regular basis, whose existence is criminalized, they may not call it fascism, but it's fascism. Part of the global south or the fourth world is in Turtle Island, and that is Black communities and indigenous communities in this country. So, if you see somebody on the side of the road who's flying, asking for money, or anything that you can give them, please, if you have a take care bag, give it to them. So, yeah. All right. Party! No, but for real, we gotta take care of each other.